One has to reap the fruits of his karma. The law of karma is inevitable and is accepted by all great philosophies of the world. As you sow, so shall you reap. Learn to perform your duties skillfully without aversion or attachment, and do not believe that anything can wash off your bad karma. Taking a bath in a river and making pilgrimages from one shrine to another will not free you from the bondage of karma. Such belief is only superstition and has no logic. This world is a mixture of two things, the good and the bad. The wise person selects and takes the good and leaves the bad. The aspirant who genuinely wishes to follow the path of enlightenment should avoid crowds, publicity, and creating large followings. Name and fame are the greatest barriers and downfalls for a spiritual man. Serving humanity becomes an important part of life for such sages. They do not expect anything from humanity, for they think that serving humanity is the expression of love for God. If one leaves his home and starts searching for a teacher only because of curiosity or emotional problems, he will not reach these higher elevations. He will not have the intense determination and drive required to go on to those places hidden deep in the Himalayas where the great sages dwell. It is important to make one's life creative and helpful, but before doing so, one should make contact with his own potential deep within by disciplining himself and gaining control over his mind, speech, and action. A person who has gained self mastery lives in the world and yet remains above it, unaffected by worldly factors and problems. If you lose control, you lose the battle of life. Enjoy doing things for others without seeking anything in return. This is the highest of all joys and as essential step in the path of enlightenment. Nothing could be achieved without selfless service. All the rituals and knowledge of the scriptures are in vain if actions are performed without selflessness. Fearlessness is also an essential prerequisite for attaining enlightenment. Great are those who are always fearless. To be completely free from all fears is one step on the path of enlightenment. Faith and determination, these two are the essential rungs on the ladder of enlightenment. Without them, the word enlightenment can be written and spoken but never realized. Determination helps in building willpower, which is the very basis of success within and without. It is said in the scriptures that with the help of Sankalpa Shakti, the power of determination, nothing is impossible. I will do it, I have to do it, I have the means to do it. When this power of determination is not interrupted, one inevitably attains the desired goal. Do not live in the past, live here and now and start treading the path of light. Most people brood on the past and do not know how to live here and now. That is the because of their suffering. When you become dependent on something outside without having awareness of the reality within you, then you will indeed be lonely. The whole search for enlightenment is to seek within, to become aware that you are complete in yourself. You are perfect, you do not need any externals. No matter what happens in any situation, you need never be lonely. Those who learn to enjoy the real self within are very never lonely. Those who learn to enjoy the real self within are never lonely. When we learn to know our real self, we do not depend on externals. Dependence on external relationship is ignorance that needs to be dispelled. Relationships and life are synonymous and inseparable. The strongest of bondages is created by attachment, which makes one weak, ignorant, and unaware of the absolute reality. When we are attached to or have a desire for something, it becomes a source of illusion for us. Those who are free from attachments and have directed their desires toward spiritual growth are free from the boundaries of Maya illusion. The less attachment, the more inner strength. The more inner strength, the nearer the goal. Vairagya and Abhyasa, non attachment. In attachment, you become selfish, interested in your own pleasure, and you misuse love. You become possessive and try to gain the objects of your desires. Truth is the ultimate goal of human life, and if it is practiced with mind, speech, and action, the goal can be reached. Truth can be attained by practicing non lying and by not doing those actions which are against one's own conscience. Conscience is the best of guides. God cannot be seen through human eyes. God can only be realized by realizing the real self and then the self of all. Instead of demanding from the teacher, transform yourself from within. God is within you, and that which is within you is subject to self realization. No one can show God to anyone else. One has to independently realize his real self. Thereby, he realizes the self of all, which is called God. A selfish man always thinks and talks about himself. His selfishness makes him self centered and miserable. The shortest cut to self enlightenment is to cut through the ego, surrender before the highest one. Those who are selfless, humble, and loving are the true benefactors of humanity. In the path of self realization, purity, one pointedness, and control of the mind are essential. There is no such thing as independent learning in the world. Your ideas are the ideas of others. The knowledge on which you depend is not at all your knowledge. All wise people throughout history have gone through great pains in order to know truth directly. Mantra is very powerful and essential. A compact form of prayer. If remembered constantly, it becomes a guide. No matter where you live, live cheerfully. This is the mantra. Be cheerful at all times, even if you are behind bars. Anywhere you live, even if you have to go to a hellish place, create heaven there. Remember, cheerfulness is of your own making. It only requires human effort. You have to create cheerfulness for yourself. Sometimes the words of a great man can have the effect of a mantra. Whenever any great man speaks to you, you should accept his words as mantra and practice them. Practicing austerity is not easy. Among all the methods for training and therapies, the highest of all is that of self training, in which one remains conscious of one's mind, action, and speech. As an aspirant, it is always wise to be vigilant and firm in practicing meditation without expecting much in the beginning. Follow only that discipline which has been given to you. Spirituality has nothing to do with these miracles. A match will produce fire in a second. If you wish to spend 20 years to produce fire from your mouth, you are a fool. Powers have nothing to do with spirituality. Selflessness is one of the prominent signs of spiritual man. If this quality is missing in the character of one who is supposed to be spiritual, he is not really a spiritual person. Some amount of money is one of the necessary means of making oneself comfortable in the world, but it is also true that having more than necessary can be a source of misery. Happiness is the greatest wealth of all. Punctuality is essential. Eternally, we are one and the same, but as human beings, you are still a servant and I am your master. Modern man tries to have the position of a master without attaining anything. Know the role of a student as well as the role of a master. The more one's followers increase, the more egotistical one becomes. Be humble and behave properly with the men of God. If you are not humble, you cannot learn. When one begins to treat the path of spirituality, it is essential to be humble. A clouded mind is not a good instrument on the path of enlightenment. It is not action that ought to be renounced, but the fruit of action. The teachings of the Upanishad are not understood by the ordinary mind or even by the intellectual mind. Intuitive knowledge alone leads to understanding them. Have a desire to meet and know God, but have no selfish desire to acquire anything for yourself. Give up all anger, greed, and attachment. Practice meditation regularly. Only when you have done these four things you will become perfect. All the kicks and blows of life teach us something. For a wise man, there is nothing to be called bad. Any adversity of life provides a step for his growth, provided he knows how to utilize it. A human being knows enough, but the knowledge needs to be brought into daily life. If this is not done, the knowledge remains limited within the boundaries of knowing only. We all know what to do and what not to do, but it is very difficult to learn how to be. Real knowledge is found not in knowing, but rather in being.